Cowbaby Logic, I'm Little Donna Fiducia.
And I'm Little Donnie Newen.
And boy,
do we have a show?
For you.
Hey, Donna.
Yes, Donnie?
Can you reach your microphone?
Nope.
This is gonna be a long show.
Baby Donna and Donnie. Thank you, Genghis Khan. It took us forever to get that thing loaded in and part of the show, but that was well done, Genghis Khan. And for those of you that don't know who he is, get on Getter and get in the barn parties with us, and you will meet the Genghis Khan. Mm-hmm. And we're also needing to make sure that we let everybody know that Genghis married up in a major way, probably the biggest way possible, to Mrs. Khan. And we miss her. We don't see her as often in there. But Genghis, we appreciate what you did, buddy. You're a good man.
Yep.
All right.
Well, we just got so much stuff going on.
Yeah, like these.
Yes. Nick Shirley and Dave up in Minneapolis.
We got our sweatshirts.
The Quality Leering Center
Our Leering
sweatshirts.
Center sweatshirts. You guys go to ShirleyDefense.com. ShirleyDefense.com. We don't make any money off the. We paid for these. I don't even remember how much they are. $40 or $50, something like that.
Yeah, but you got to back this guy. He's doing a great job.
And remember this: they're made to order, and so you're not going to get it the next day. You got to wait a couple of weeks, but they're good sweatshirts. ShirleyDefense.com. I'll show it to you one more time. We have one of our beloved viewers send us a picture of him wearing his. The Leering Center.
1-800-FRAUD.
Yeah.
And we are going to have later on in the show our Georgia version of Nick.
We are going to leer
Dave,
some things.
I think. We're going to leer a lot of all the corruption that's going on in Georgia, just as far as the elections are concerned, not necessarily. I mean, they haven't even looked into if there's problems with child care.
I want to leer something. Teach me something, Donna.
Okay. Let's leer about everybody being, well, Tom Renz. Everybody's saying
you can leer a lot from Renz.
Yes, RenzLaw.com. He said the SAVE Act promotes the universal digital ID, which shares everything you do with everybody, destroys our ability to get anything done, universal track and trace. There's always, apparently, some problem with these things that DC's doing because they're not doing it for our own good. And the GOP and are totally anti-MAGA. I totally agree with that.
Lacking testicles.
Now, the other problem that everybody's
I can say that, right?
Yes, you can.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. The whole problem with what Trump is doing, and he's doing great stuff overseas and everything else, is that everybody's PO'd about the Epstein files still not being released by Pam Bondi, among other things she's not doing. Well, this brings us to the Mike Benz lesson of the week. Yeah. Jeffrey Epstein had big money connections since the late 70s. Always follow the money trail. And there's a CIA connection, too, with many great stock trades. I wonder if that had anything to do with Nancy Pelosi. But check this out, the Mike Benz lesson of the week.
Guys, we just broke the entire Jeffrey Epstein story. If Ace Greenberg brought Jeffrey Epstein into the BCCI deals at Bear, that explains literally everything. It explains Jeffrey Epstein's meteoric rise. It explains why everyone was so charmed by him. Hint, not because of his charm. It explains how in 1982 he's already meeting with major CIA, MI6, Saudi intelligence officials, Doug Lee, Stan Pottinger, Adnan Khashoggi, Middle Eastern sheikhs. Oh, it's because he handled BCCI at Bear, handling CIA financing, disguising illegal weapons sales as complex financial transactions for commodities or oil. That explains how Jeffrey Epstein got a specialty in complex financial transactions. Oh, because he got it because he was put on the BCCI account. Oh, that explains how he's working with Edgar Bronfman, because BCCI was helping U.S., Saudi, British, but also Israeli interests in the Iran-Iraq affair and in Afghanistan. That explains how he was protected every time he got in trouble with fraud. The Justice Department takes action against Jeffrey Epstein for securities laws violations. Jeffrey Epstein openly says in court that Bear Stearns was actually secretly moving money for the CIA. Well, that can't come out in open court. Okay, let's not move forward with prosecution. Don't want to reveal national security secrets. That explains how Jeffrey Epstein has these French intelligence connection points, how Jeffrey Epstein has these British intelligence connection points, how he's got these Israeli intelligence connection points. That explains how he's got these Saudi intelligence connection points. And that definitely explains how he has all these CIA connection points. They're all connected through the late 1970s Safari Club network that then scaled up BCCI.
I don't know how Mike Benz follows this stuff. He's just amazing. At Mike Benz Cyber.
He's one of the
on
very
X.
few people and accounts that we subscribe to. We really encourage you. It's at Mike Benz Cyber. And subscribe to it.
You know things are bad when Glenn Beck gets PO'd enough, where he is just on a major rant against what's going on with the Trump administration, because it's pretty obvious that the GOP is anti-MAGA right now. And, you know, MAGA won with major support with the popular vote as well as the Electoral College vote, okay? So he had a FOIA request, Glenn Beck did, back in July of 25 on Epstein between Bondi and Dan Bongino, and that was when Bongino supposedly threatened to quit because there was some problems there. So Glenn Beck had a ton of complaints about Pam Bondi in a major rant last week that you should definitely check out. But here's another great history lesson from Glenn Beck about the Barbary Pirates, who were Muslims. And Jefferson ended it, essentially kill or be killed. And this really has a lot to do with what's going on in Minnesota.
Marxists, communists, socialists, anarchists, and Islamists are working to destabilize the Western world. They are working together to overthrow Western civilization, and their last stop is the United States of America. First foreign war was against the Muslims. You knew that, right? The Barbary Pirates. 2/3 of our national expenditure every year was going to pay the bribes of the Barbary Pirates. Because what were they doing? They were just boarding any ship. Because if you're an infidel, that's ours. Oh, and we can either kill you or we'll turn you into a slave. Our Marines are called leathernecks because when they went into battle against the Barbary pirates, they put leather around their necks so they couldn't be beheaded in battle. That's why they're called leathernecks. And Jefferson, when he ended it, he said, because there was no stomach for it. When he ended it, he warned the nation, you must understand this ideology. It is our first foreign war, and if you don't understand what we're dealing with, it will be our last foreign war. Thomas Jefferson. He urged people not to listen to sound bites. They didn't have them. He urged people not to listen to blowhards like me, but to do your own homework. And he urged people to read something. He urged that this book be printed. This is an original from Jefferson's time. This is an English copy printed in America of...
Watch what happens when a 50-year-old man walks DHT naturally for just 90 days. Day 1, nothing visible yet. Just another middle-aged guy staring at his disappearing hairline. Day 30.
The Quran. And in it, this is a first edition copy, there's a note to the reader. Before you read this, you should know what you're about to get into. And in the end of it, it said, much of what you find in this book, you will wonder that such absurdities have infected the best part of the world. And you will avouch that the knowledge that is contained in this book will render our laws. Be careful. Every American, he said, should read this book. Don't take the highlights. Don't take my words for it. Read it and understand it.
Yep. Takia means they can lie to us infidels with impunity because we're less than human. You got to realize that that Islam, it's not radical Islam, Islam is not compatible with the U.S. Constitution. And Charlie Kirk, God bless him, man, he basically said, we have to conserve because that is the word, where the word conservative comes from.
You cannot be a true born-again Christian and vote Democrat. They are celebratory of 1 million abortions a year. They believe that gender is infinite. And so some people say, but Charlie, what do the Democrats want? They want full and complete destruction of the United States of America. They do not want a better country. They do not want you to live in a better tomorrow. They want to overwhelm the system and radically transform it, as Barack Obama said, as one of the last things he said before he got elected president. We are only a few days away from fundamentally transforming this country. Let me ask you a question. Do you fundamentally transform that which you love? You conserve that which you love. That is why we call ourselves conservatives, because we have gratitude and love for this country that we did not build, but we inherited thanks to the grace and the glory of God. So to answer your question, no. If you vote Democrat as a Christian, I think you can no longer call yourself a Christian. You have to call yourself something else.
Man, he was just wise beyond his years. There's no doubt about it. He's still missed. Still hurts. We'll be back with more Cowboy Logic right after this.
We reached out to Val about a month and a half ago and said, would you ever consider creating a Cowboy Logic collection of soaps and body butter? And she said, absolutely. So we had to come up with 2 or 3 scents, S-C-E-N-T-S, that were kind of indicative to what we do.
You told me that you had a guest bedroom in your house that had tack, saddles and tack in it. And so you were looking for something that was leathery. So that's what leather, bergamot, and musk, because I wanted a little more than just leather. I wanted to mix and match and tweak it a bit. And so it smells really good. I was actually pleasantly surprised with the smell. And then Barn Party, it's like this. It is hay, balsam, vetiver, and cinnamon. You said that you were kind of looking for something that would smell like a horse. And so I had to really do some serious research on what does a horse smell like?
Horses actually do have, we have a couple horses that have a real sweet smell to them.
All right, talk about Silver Fox.
This one was special. just for Dawn. And he was telling me about the cologne that his mother had bought for him years ago. And he stopped using it after she passed because he didn't want it to run dry. And so I looked up the cologne. I'm not going to mention who or what it is, but I looked up the cologne. And because it's no longer made, they were able to post online their top notes, middle notes, and base notes. So I got them all.
Ladies and gentlemen, you want to get something cool, go pick up the Cowboy Logic collection, sugarcreekgoods.com. Use your promo code 1776. We're not making any money off of any of this. Any of the proceeds, the 20% of it, that Val makes, it's going to the J6ers.
Visit Minnesota, a land of beauty, where more than 10,000 sparkling lakes reflect endless blue skies. Just as memorable as the scenery are the people who call Minnesota home. Minnesotans embody a spirit of kindness and community that visitors feel instantly. If it's cultural diversity you're looking for, we have that too. From angry Somalis to angry lesbians, Minnesota has it all. But Minnesota is so much more. Enjoy winter sports, we have hockey and skiing, and bashing law enforcement SUVs with a metal pipe. Fun. Looking to go out in the evening for entertainment? Check out Minnesota's vibrant music scene. Or maybe an exciting fireworks show is more your speed. And of course, if you just want to spend hours practicing saying someone's name, you've come to the right place. What about the food? Shall we talk about the food? Okay, let's not talk about the food. But if it's cultural enrichment you're after, you can visit one of our world-class leering centers to leer even more about the fine state of Minnesota. So, if you've always wanted to visit Somalia, but are concerned it's too far away, come to Minnesota. Minnesota, because Somalia is too far away.
It's upside down. It's totally upside down.
That's right.
What's right is wrong.
This
What's
whole
wrong
country is
right.
upside down.
Look at Minnesota. As we record this, there has been another shooting. I feel so much better.
Man, that was smooth, Ron. Can you go back and do that again? That was really... Ooh.
It is totally upside down.
Ron Phillips, our producer. You guys need to follow him at Real Ron Phillips on social media.
As opposed to the fake Ron Phillips. Okay.
You guys also need to go to Shirley Defense.
Yeah.
And be like us and get these sweatshirts.
Quality Leering Center
Leering Center
sweatshirts.
sweatshirts. There you go. There you go.
And like I said earlier, we are going to have our own Georgia version of Nick and Dave coming up, too, talking about all the disgusting crap that's coming here in Georgia as well as far as the elections are concerned. But it is totally upside down. You got Abigail Spanberger. I had notes on her. Apparently...
You have notes on everything.
That's true. Abigail Spanberger. Virginia, you are so... Put it this way.
Bye-bye, Virginia.
Well, the whole country is bye-bye if this continues.
Yeah.
Because this shows you how the CIA gets anything done that they want. And she's a former CIA operative, okay? She won by 527,000 votes in 2025. Virginia did report over 1 million duplicate voter registrations between 2022 and 2024, which means Glenn Youngkin didn't do diddly squat to fix it either. So, and she has pretty much outlawed counting ballots now. She's trying to push ranked choice voting. She's doing all kinds of stuff to crack down on the Second Amendment. I mean, it's insane. And let's go back to Minnesota. Again, there's a shooting going on right now as far as that's concerned. Don Lemon, was apparently arraigned, but then the judge kicked it out. The judge whose wife works with A.G. Ellison in Minnesota. Gee, what can go wrong with that? So can anybody school Don Lemon? Well, maybe Elon Musk can.
Yeah. So, Don, you love censorship, is what you're saying.
No, I don't love censorship. I believe in moderation.
Moderation is a propaganda word for censorship. Look, if something's illegal, we're going to take it down.
This is my hair on minoxidil. This is my hair on finasteride. And this is my hair on this new at-home DHT blocker. This is me after just 6 weeks of using it. This is me after 6 months. Here's exactly how I did it. I was 34 and losing hair fast. Tried minoxidil for 8 months. Greasy mess. 0 results.
If it's not illegal, then we're putting our thumb on the scale and we're being censors.
You're putting your thumb on the scale for moderating hate speech. I mean, you don't put out child pornography. That's not...
It's illegal.
Some people would say that's considered censorship. I'm just saying.
I literally said, if something is legal, okay, we will obviously remove it.
Okay.
We, I guess, have a disagreement because I do not believe in censorship that goes beyond the law, and you do.
So you don't consider that hate speech?
I guess you're not understanding what I'm saying.
We don't agree on this.
Yes, you want censorship and I don't.
No, I don't want censorship at
Yes,
all.
you do.
No, I want responsibility.
You desperately want censorship.
No, if I want a censorship...
You want censorship so bad you can taste it.
No, that's not true.
And I'm against censorship. I'm in favor of freedom of speech.
Yeah.
And freedom of speech only is relevant when people you don't like say things you don't like. Otherwise, it has no meaning.
Boom.
Do you like the falling lemons?
I like the lemons there.
Those lemons were falling like his career.
Well, I don't know. And then let's look at this woman who also blasts Don Lemon. He tried to blame MAGA, then disassociate himself from the mob that he led a protest into a church during services.
Administration and the fake news MAGAs are losing their mind over something that's not even true.
Oh, no, sir. This ain't got nothing to do with MAGA. This got everything to do with you taking your up in that church and harassing people like that. Now you want to circle back and act like, oh, well, I am in no affiliation, association. No. You are in 110% corroboration with the Democratic Party that is causing more and more problems. You, by the way, who keeps saying that white people are devils, but you married to a white man. So does that make you the devil's broad? I'm trying to understand, what is it exactly that you are doing, and what is it exactly that you want us to think that you're doing? You are opposition to any and everything that is successful in this country. Anything that is trying to get this country together, you are in direct opposition of. But then you want to come back and try to play the victim. No. You're not a victim, Don. You are not a victim. You are 100% guilty of all the that you have already done. And then you keep doing it. Then you keep doing it. Then you want us to come in and talk about, oh, well, you know, it's the news. It's the news. You're a damn journalist yourself. Listen, people. I keep trying to tell you, we're doing a complete separation. If you are not a melanated American, if you are not one of our non-melanated cousins, all y'all can get out. Even the people that were born here. If you do not like this country, and Don, you got plenty of money, take your ass somewhere else. You and your husband. Why don't you go somewhere? Where is all the rest of these people? Where did what's the name? The white lady that had the TV show. Go with Portia. Go over Ellen DeGeneres. Why don't you go be neighbors with Ellen and them? Just get that out.
What does she really think? What we're all thinking, quite honestly.
She got the 3 bleeps.
Yeah, she got 3 bleeps on that one.
Donna sends these to me and goes, you know, we need to fly this in, but I think you're going to need to bleep out some stuff.
And I give him the time code. Bleep here, bleep there. You know, and then the whole thing, one guy posted also, if this was done in a black church, he wouldn't have gotten past the aunties in the first row. I kind of agree with that, too. I always try to give the rest of the story, though. Chris Krebs, who was the guy who ran CISA, remember, said it was the most secure election ever? He said that before the votes were actually certified. 5 years later, this is finally coming out. That's what is so ridiculous. We've all had it. I think we've totally all had it. We've been deceived by the corrupt government. Okay, we just had Martin Luther King Day, right? I think it's about time we modernize Dr. Martin Luther King's famous I Have a Dream speech.
I have a dream that one day Democrats will stop acting like retards, that one day they'll stop letting criminals into our country just so they can steal elections with their ballots, that they finally realize there are only 2 genders and that men can never get pregnant, that they stop letting mentally ill perverts into women's bathrooms and little girls' locker rooms. I have a dream. The Democrats stop believing in that green new scam and defund the police nonsense. That they finally stop killing our beautiful unborn babies. That they quit trying to censor any speech they don't like because it makes them look stupid. That they never again teach any of that critical race and transgender bull to our little children. And that they stop dividing us by the color of our skin and not by the content of our character. I have a dream that one day Democrats will stop acting like a bunch of woke little retards.
Only one bleep in that one. Gotta love AI. That's perfect.
AI is awesome.
That's really
if
perfect.
It's used for the right reasons.
Notice he said, the green new scam BS. Davos just completed, too. You didn't see anything about the green new scam, except, and Bill Gates. That's what really gets me. Bill Gates, who's got so much money, but he has to have more, now says he's against the green new scam because he wants to get involved with AI. And Donald Trump gets up there and just schools the people. That was awesome. He gets up there and goes, all right, you got this green new scam stuff. You're making windmills and solar panels and made in China. And China is building oil and gas, resources. They don't have a damn thing going with wind and solar in China because they know it doesn't work. It's just totally upside down.
I am leering so much today. I hope you guys are leering a lot. As a matter of fact, if you are leering a lot, go pick up one of your Quality Leering Center sweatshirts at ShirleyDefense.com.
Yep.
ShirleyDefense.com.
And again, the Georgia version of Nick and Dave coming up right now on Cowboy Logic.
No!
She's got legs. She knows how to use them. She never begs. She knows how to choose them.
Patriots Relief, your America First CBD company. We are Christian, conservative, and committed to helping you feel your best. Are you tired of chronic pain holding you back? It's time for a change. Experience the remarkable healing properties of CBD, expertly designed to alleviate pain and promote internal balance. Patriots Relief is here for you. Visit our website or call now. Use your promo code to unlock exclusive savings. Patriots Relief, helping you get out of pain and live life to the fullest.
On payroll, still walking free, what a play. Grandpa and grandma zip tied on the floor while BLM tore cities, yo, beg for more. Pelosi's laptop lost, the footage stays sealed. Every lie you stack is a blade we wield. You built the gallows, we'll hang your decree from C to B. Our face breaks free. Can you taste the iron in the air tonight?
All right, welcome back, everybody. Still there.
Watch what happens when a 50-year-old man blocks DHT naturally for just 90 days. Day 1, nothing visible.
Remember, guys, if you guys and gals, if you stream it, we get little teeny money for that. If you download it, we get little money for it. You don't make any money on records anymore.
What does the download cost? Like $1.50 or something?
I think it's 99 cents.
Oh, that's even.
But here's the deal: if you download Still There, look for it with my last name. All of the money that is raised off of that is going to go to Stand in the Gap. So we encourage you to do that. We do know that the stream numbers are looking real good. We haven't seen download numbers yet. So just go download it. Even if it's not your cup of tea musically, let's download it and let's get some money going to Stand in the Gap, okay?
All right, we're going to focus on elections. Now, a lot of people, of course, are thinking about Minnesota. Georgia's just as big of a you-know-what hole as Minnesota, in fact, as Arizona is, too. All these major swing states are having huge problems. So what caught my attention is the fact that, obviously, a lot of people know what Nick and Dave are doing up in Minnesota. Well, we sort of have a Nick and Dave here in Georgia. So let's bring on Jason Frazier, who, along with David Kate, did a lot of great videos. Hello there, Jason, and welcome to Cowboy Logic.
Hello.
You, just like Sally Grubbs, just like so many other people here in Georgia and around the country, are just concerned citizens that finally stepped up to the plate. And you obviously, both of you, got attacked for it. So give us a little bit about your background, and then we'll get into what you found.
Yeah, sure. So my background, like a lot of folks, I, just went along with life and enjoyed life until after 2020. And then just started scratching my head because things didn't add up. I mean, you'd hear one media group saying one thing, the other one would say something completely different. So I just decided to, jump into the data and look for myself. And my background is mechanical engineering and finance, so I'm good at detail-oriented analysis. So I got a copy of the voter rolls and started looking at it. And my gosh, you wouldn't believe the things that we'd found. And that's where I reached out to David and we started making some videos.
I bet.
Well, before we get into this, Jason, I want to congratulate you on the Leering Center that you went to, Indiana University. That, from what I understand, the Leering Center of Indiana University has a pretty good football team. And congratulations on your Leering Center that you've got there.
Stop.
Yeah. I'm just hoping we can run our elections like they run a football game. That's my goal.
Yeah, really. Okay. Back in November 19th of 2020, Fulton County knew of these massive discrepancies and nothing was done about it. In fact, we were up at Marjorie Taylor Greene's reelection at her campaign office when the reelection was going on. And Ratzenberger, what did he get, like 77% of the vote? And Kemp got 77% of the vote, but so did Marjorie Taylor Greene. And the first thing that her campaign was saying to us was, there's no way in her district that those two other people, who were pretty much hated by MAGA, quite honestly, got as much of the vote as she did. So, I mean, that was just another 2 years later where everybody's finding all these discrepancies. So, I mean, in my opinion, we have two stolen senators here in Georgia as well. We had Joe Von Hutton Pulitzer on last week, and he's the guy who was able to use the voting machines to tap into wall thermostat to tap into the voting machines while the Senate runoff was going on. So that would have eliminated Ossoff at least. But, I mean, this is so in your face. So tell us what you found when you started looking at the voter rolls.
Yeah, so like a lot of folks back then, I mean, you always hear about somebody that had died and they're still on the voter roll. So that's really where I started. I just looked at the oldest folks or the youngest folks and would just type in their first name, last name, year of birth, and you could find obituaries all day long. And then I accidentally found somebody that I had turned in because they had passed away. I found them on there again. And lo and behold, they were registered twice. And I had no idea. I hadn't heard about that at the time. And so I just sorted the voter roll and I ended up finding 10,000 people just in Fulton County that were registered more than one time. And a lot of times it was a slight difference in the name. Like the first set of duplicates I turned in was a guy named Rufus, and his typo name was Boofus. I mean, you can't make this up. So I turned that in, because they didn't want to see duplicate registrations. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to put this on the record. I'm going to put it in an email. If they find me a guy named Boofus, I'll go do something else with my life. They didn't. So I ended up turning in 10,000 of these. And then I gave another 1,000 to the State Board of Elections last month just to show that, I exposed the issue. Fulton County is still not fixing the voter rolls. So then I updated that at the last State Board of Elections and said, you know what? Here's that same 1,000, and they only took 73 of that 1,000 off over the month. So they're still staying on there.
Why does our state elected officials, state Senate, state representatives, why are they not doing something about this? Or are they part of the problem? Or have they been neutered through the corruption of places like Fulton County?
I think it's probably a little bit of everything. I mean, we've got Mark Elias, who has threatened to sue and has had some lawsuits if you clean the voter rolls. But the things I'm looking at are if you're registered 5 times, I don't want to disenfranchise your ability to vote once. I just want to disenfranchise your ability to vote 5 times. That's all. Or if you're at a UPS store, that may not seem like a big deal, but that hurts if you're the down ballot races because you live in one county and you're registered in another county where maybe you work. And so you just get your mail there and you're not thinking about it a lot of times. Then you're voting for the wrong mayor and city council. So that does make a difference. And then it also leads to double registrations.
That disenfranchises all of us. I mean, they want these illegals to vote. I mean, it's obviously what's going on in Minnesota and all of these other. There's 7 counties, really, that can swing the entire country. If you think about it, Maricopa's bigger than 32 states. Fulton County screws up all of Georgia. You've got Philadelphia. You've got New York. Well, New York's probably going to go anyhow. But, I mean, there's probably good said Detroit. And all these areas are in question, and nothing is being done. And that's what's so frustrating, because I'm thinking at this point, the fox is watching the hen house.
No doubt about it. I mean, we've got a Secretary of State, which every meeting I've ever gone to, the biggest defenders of our Secretary of State are the Democrats on every board, everyone in the audience. Like you were saying earlier, I don't know a single conservative, Trump supporting conservative that voted for Brad Raffensperger. I certainly didn't. I voted third party. And I know that kind of throws away your vote sometimes, but I could not bring myself to vote for that man. But he is the one in charge of the voter rolls. He's the one in charge of cleaning up this, and he's clearly not doing it. And today he's running for governor.
Well, that's the other thing, and I talk about this on RAV a lot. It's the bigger picture. It's the same MO over and over again. He's the Secretary of State. He's running for governor. He's overseeing the votes. How is that allowed? Just like Katie Hobbs in Arizona. She was Secretary of State. Now she's governor. And you got Ruben Gallego in there as senator. So everybody voted Trump and then switched to the Democrats down ballot. Another thing that was not looked at by the RNC at all, because in my opinion, they knew Trump was too big to rig. And obviously the down ballot could still be stolen. And they're proving that. Why?
Yeah.
How?
One push we're doing here in Georgia is trying to get them to close the primary. I think that would go a long way this session, especially because, again, every Democrat in town loves Brad Raffensperger and his right-hand man, Gabe Sterling. Gabe is running for Secretary of State, and I guarantee there's going to be Democrats crossing over to vote for both of those.
Yeah, the same 1-2 punch. Okay, we got about a minute left. Talk about the fact that you're trying to get on the Georgia, or is it the Fulton County election board, and they're attacking you all over the place?
Yes, that's the Fulton County Board of Election. I was nominated to be on that board in 2023. The Democrats blocked that seat for the first time in Fulton County history. They've never blocked anybody. So there was an agreement. We put up Julie Adams, who is there today. And then 2 years later, they blocked us. They blocked us both. And my seat has been sitting empty since.
This is what 92 hair washes can do in 6 months. Not 10 washes, not 30 washes, exactly 92, because that's how long your hair growth cycle takes to go.
Since July is when I was supposed to be seated. So now today we only have one Republican on that board of 5 individuals. It's supposed to be 5. Yeah. It's 1 Republican, 3 Democrats, and my empty seat. So that's the problem.
What could go wrong with that?
Sounds like that's going to work.
I'm not really sure, but I think Joe Biden gave Stacey Abrams some $3 billion on the way out the door. God knows what she's doing with that in Fulton County, too. But that's something that I think
literally
a forensic
redefine standing in the gap.
Yeah, really, stop. We'll be back with Jason Frazier and more on Cowboy Logic right after this. Everybody, Donna Fiducia here to talk to you about Cowboy Logic Laser.com. And boy, do we have so many goodies. We have the glasses. Well, first of all, we have the highball glasses and your cocktail glasses, Cowboy Logic Laser.com. Or you have the carpenter pencils, which Don loves so much, and he shows them all the time on our show. And, well, it comes with a sharpener, too. CowboyLogicLaser.com. And you got coffee mugs. Anything you want, they can laser it on. Now this one I'm not even going to open up because I almost chopped my finger off first time, but they do have a Cowboy Logic laser knife as well. Anything you want, CowboyLogicLaser.com. CowboyLogicLaser.com. Promo code 1776 gets you 10% off, folks. And the stuff is just really great. It supports the show, and we really do appreciate it. CowboyLogicLaser.com.
The drug boats now are destroyed and our ocean chum. The drug boats perfectly blown into oblivion.
Wiping out narco terror, President Trump and J.D. Vance. America they love. They're protecting our shores. You're not welcome here. We're declaring war. No more drugs. We'll bomb everyone. Drug boats. Ladies and gentlemen, back to Cowboy Logic.
The drug vote. Hey, you know, nobody gives Donald Trump any credit.
Yeah, we do.
Well, the mainstream media.
Then we get lambasted.
And you're
for
seeing
it.
what's happening with Minnesota. That when we're recording this, there's been another shooting, and then Tim Walz has the nerve to say, "Oh, pull out ICE." No, the whole problem is we need to send more troops in there. We need the Insurrection Act, but. Under Trump, with things like the drug boats getting blown up and stuff like that, it's record low overdoses from fentanyl. Record low. And what does the mainstream media say? Oh, it's due to Narcan or whatever it is that you take when you feel you're overbeing. It has nothing to do with the fact there's less drugs
Go down to,
here.
is it, Kensington Avenue or Kensington Place there in Philadelphia, and please,
really. It's so unbelievable.
do something with your Narcan.
Okay, so let's bring back Jason Frazier, who, along with David Cate, has done some great work here in Georgia. Again, I refer to you guys as the Nick and Dave of what they did in Minnesota. You guys are doing that here in Georgia. And I'm not even sure if you got into anything like illegal child care, but certainly illegal voting. So we're going to talk about what happened when you guys went to a UPS location. Set that up for us with this video.
Yeah, so I spoke with Dave, and he wanted some pretty interesting spots. So I just gave him some of the addresses that I had already given Fulton County a few years ago. Said, hey, there's a lot of folks registered here. It's a commercial address. That's unlawful, right? So I gave it to Fulton County, and lo and behold, 3 years later, they're still on there. So David and I went to the UPS store, and I think there were either 75 or close to 90, depending on which UPS store that is, people that are registered to vote at those locations. So they're casting a ballot. Not all of them vote from there, but that's where they're registered to vote. And that's unlawful. And again, down ballot, that's a problem. And a lot of folks, we went on another case and we couldn't even find that they actually owned a box there. They were just still registered there.
Yeah, it's totally illegal. All right, so voting illegally out of the UPS store. Let's watch this.
I just wanted to walk you through what happens whenever I identify a location just like this UPS store. Here is a letter which I received. I should not have received, but it is a couple of folks that quote-unquote lived at a USPS box. When Fulton County sent this challenge letter to the individual, they didn't bother to even put their name on it. So it's just got the address. This person was registered to vote at the UPS store, but didn't even have a box number. So these are both different letters to different individuals, God knows who. But
so you challenge what's going on in there because obviously it shouldn't be happening.
It's illegal.
And this is what the county sends back to you.
This
correct?
is the this is
not to you even, but
it should have gone. The folks at the USPS. The only name they could find on there was my name, because Fulton County, again, they have been, we'll say, very negative toward me doing this kind of work. They have complained quite a bit about it, and what they'll do is they put in here, in big bold print, your right to vote has been challenged by Fulton County voter. They put my name and my address in there.
Now, why would they put your name and your address there?
In my opinion, it's intimidation. I mean, it's gone from this to whenever I turned in the first 1,000 business addresses, one of the folks that I had challenged because he was registered to vote at his woodworking factory.
Excuse me, where?
A woodworking factory. So clearly he doesn't live there. He knew he didn't live there. But then the very next meeting, I get a challenge letter that was actually addressed to me, saying that he was challenging my right to vote, which in my opinion, that's a voter intimidation violation, because instead of me legally challenging people who are registered illegally, he is challenging me, saying that my 3-bedroom, 2.5-bath ranch house, which is clearly a legal place to reside, is illegal.
So, just so we can go through this process,
sure.
You challenge somebody illegitimate registration from where they are registered to vote, whatever the case may be. They include your name, your address in there.
Yes.
So then people can do this to you.
Yes.
Challenge you, intimidate you, retaliate
Absolutely.
against you.
Yes.
And Fulton County is aware of this?
Fulton County sent that letter.
Well, is Fulton County aware that they're essentially allowing voter intimidation to take place like this?
If you watch the video, it seemed pretty clear to me that some of the board members were fully aware of this challenge and seemed like they were in line with the person challenged.
I mean, that goes in line totally with what happened in Fulton County and the voter intimidation with Sidney Powell and that entire group, including President Trump, which eventually got thrown out after all this lawfare. But again, I mean, to me, this is something. Well, Fulton County. What is your take on Fulton County? I mean, can they break it up?
I'm going to interrupt and tell you, Fulton County is one of the most corrupt counties in the United States. And I feel bad that you're a resident of Fulton County. We moved our business out of it because it sucked so bad.
Yeah. It has more on the voter rolls than half of the other Georgia counties combined. And again,
That's right.
if they can just keep the grift going with the Secretary of State who's backed by the Democrats, when we get to the midterms, we're screwed.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you played that video. It really shows the problems that are happening. I mean, I challenged these people because they weren't legally registered, and I was blown away. Instead of the county.
Mix cinnamon with oats. Gym trainers don't want you to know this because many say it could help you lose up to 5.
Notifying them and saying, hey, looks like you accidentally registered to vote at a UPS store, a USPS store. They say that I, with my name and my home address, am challenging their right to vote in big bold print. And some of these people were very angry. Some of them found my phone number and called me up. And I just explained the situation. I'm not targeting them. The county made the error, or you made a mistake not knowing the system. We're just trying to get it right. And a few of them ended up thanking me. I ended up getting a thank you card from one lady who couldn't get her mother or her grandmother off the voter rolls when she had died years ago. So some people do absolutely support this, but the county is very difficult.
Make sure you test these postcards and thank you letters for ricin and things like that, though, okay?
Yeah,
yes.
We've seen what's happened with the J6ers, and so...
Okay. They have a $33 million budget this year as well. And it's like pulling teeth to get anything off the voter rolls, obviously. All right, so before the break, I asked you about Stacey Abrams. Supposedly, she got billions, $3 billion from the Biden administration when Biden was going out the door? I mean, I would think this has enough. That's more than enough money to keep the grift going in Fulton County. Where is that money? Any idea?
Your guess is as good as mine. I think it's kind of like those Leering centers. Is they get the money and who knows where it goes, but they all have nice houses and nice cars.
I bet.
Coincidence.
We are leering that there's a lot of nefarious money going around here.
Well, have you found nefarious money elsewhere in your travels? I mean, have you seen?
He leered that he has leered this.
Have you leered that it's not just with the voting rolls, but it could be child care centers and things of that nature, like in so many other states?
It's really hard to say. I mean, we've looked at some of the homeless shelters. One of the shelters has 2,000 people registered to vote there. And I've been scratching my head for a long time. I mean, if I am homeless, I don't know where to sleep at night. I can't get a meal. Why do I'm not concerned most likely. I mean, I'm not homeless, but I can't imagine they're concerned about who the next city council member is in Atlanta. I mean, their focus is on getting a meal. So I think it feels to me like some of these shelters are taking advantage of them. And why would they be so focused on registering them to vote instead of, finding a roof over their head?
Because they're being paid. They're being paid to do that.
But I seem to
That's
recall.
what it looks like to me.
I seem to recall one location in Atlanta that had 9,000 people registered to vote. Did you see that? You remember that?
That must have been before my time. The one I saw was 2000, and then David did a video last week about a shelter that had closed down in 2017, is now owned by Georgia Tech, but still had, I think it was 70 or 80 people registered to vote there 9 years later. So it's been closed and they still haven't cleaned it up. Nobody's there. So they can't say it's a homeless issue. They're gone.
This is just unbelievable. And it's so in your face at this point. And it's not just Fulton County. Again, it's probably all these swing counties all over the country because that's how they're stealing the vote. Okay. You and Dave had done some other work, including finding voters in very odd locations, not just at UPS stores. We're going to get to that right after this break.
We are leering so much stuff, everybody. Come back after the break. We've got the drums, and then we're going to leer some more.
Yes.
We'll be right back.
Not fixing 2020 will damn our nation forever. The historic Maricopa County full forensic audit effort processed 20,895,610 digital and forensic images of varying formats, resulted in 208 million individual evidence-proof files. The system processed over 58 billion forensic measurements, resulting in over 2 trillion individual base computations. No hopium, no hype, just hardcore forensic evidence. Please make sure the Maricopa County Full Forensic Audit Archives survive. Donate now. So if you want what happened in the 2020 election fixed, then please donate to protect and secure this historic evidence. We can't do it without you. We need you. America needs you. Our future needs you. Please donate now.
right, everybody. I hope you leered a lot on the break. Drummers, you guys, bring those sticks back, Donna. These are the signature Cowboy Logic drumsticks that L. Ron Phillips, our producer, makes with the Cowboy Logic
laser.com
website that you guys need to go to. And we would be completely remiss if we didn't mention Genghis Khan. Wait a minute. I'm supposed to mention
Dana.
That's right. Dana from the Pacific Northwest and the Seattle Seahawks might.
I've been taking Digesticare for 3.5 years. It's a wonderful product. It has greatly improved my digestive system and my overall.
You think they're going to win the Super Bowl?
Yeah, well, they kind of showed up. Well, what little football we've watched this year, quite honestly, in the last 5 years.
I don't know. When I played baseball, Dana, I had to bat against a guy that played for the Seattle Mariners. And he had some major heat. You could hear the seams. But dude had no control. Maybe that's why he used to pitch for the Mariners.
Exactly.
All right, Dana, we love you. Barn Party people, we love you guys. Go get your drumsticks, help Ron out, and let's get back to leering.
Well, yes, but Jason is with us, but I also want to mention our viewer, our wonderful viewer and RAV supporter, AZ Sarah, who, like you, Jason, has kind of done the same thing. She's in Maricopa County, and she finally ran for something with the Board of Elections there because she's mad as hell and not going to take it anymore. So we hope to have her on, find out the latest in Maricopa in the coming weeks as well.
Do you play pickleball, Dave? Jason, do you play pickleball?
I have not played pickleball.
Okay.
Sarah does.
We are finding that a lot of the election people do. The election integrity people. It seems to be a big sport. But I find it to be an activity.
Yes.
Not a sport.
Keep in shape.
Now, AZ Sarah will argue with me on that.
Keep in shape.
At any rate, let's get back to serious leering.
Okay. You and David Kate had some other videos. I mean, you found people registered. Sorry, I'm knocking on.
No. Dave.
What? Oh.
Dave.
Dave's not here.
That's right. Any of you people that are over the age of 50 got that.
Yes, that's true. Sorry about that. Okay. Talk about the empty lot. I mean, this is insane.
Yeah. I mean, again, when you're doing videos, you want to pick things that anybody can relate to. I mean, you take a video of an empty lot with a fence all the way around it in the rough part of Atlanta. I mean, I think you can see the Atlanta football stadium in the background. There's nothing there. Yeah. There's no signs of a house. There's no tent. There's nothing. I mean, how can they claim somebody lives there and allow somebody to register to vote there? It just blows my mind.
Do you remember how many people were registered at this empty lot?
I'd have to check, but I think it was either one or two. I mean, not many on that one.
But it's an empty lot.
It's an empty. It just shows, and there are empty lots all over town. If there was an apartment building that was torn down, they leave everybody registered there. It's an empty lot, and they've got some of those nice ones in other counties that they tear them down and they just leave them registered.
All right, so let's watch this.
If the building's gone, come on.
Yeah, registering voters using an empty lot as an address.
Now we're at 205 Elm Street Northwest, Atlanta, Georgia, still in Fulton County, and as you can see, there's absolutely nothing behind me. Yet, people are registered to vote here. Jason, tell us again, what is going on at this location?
Well, this is a very nice house. You see, very nice front yard. It's very open concept.
Estimated value about $1 million.
Of course. Yeah, I mean, this goes back to the same lines. I mean, Fulton County, they don't check the voter rolls. They don't clean the voter rolls. Maybe there was a house here when somebody registered, or maybe there hasn't been a house here in a long time, it looks like.
It looks like there hasn't been, right? There's no, like, dump site, construction site, something like that. You can't even tell that a house ever was here. If I was just to come across here, I think it's just an empty lot, field, which it is. Yeah. But yet people are registered to vote here. So how many places like this there are around Fulton County where it's an empty lot and people are registered to vote from?
I mean, there are thousands of addresses very similar to this.
Even if it's a typo, the appropriate response is obviously to have some sort of check to it, whether it's an institution or it's citizens like yourself providing that check. But again, every time that you raise a flag, you submit a complaint about an empty lot and a person registered to vote from them, the county does everything to ensure that, one, they don't do anything about it, but two, to kind of intimidate you to stop citizens from reporting this stuff.
Absolutely. I mean, who wants to be who wants to be slandered, who wants to have their name and address put on a piece of paper, sent to a voter, and look like the bad guy. I mean, if I needed a new job, you can just Google my name and you're going to find that I am, all of the bad things that you could ever imagine, just because I'm trying to say there's nobody living here.
This right here is just ridiculous. It's an empty lot. It doesn't require anything more than just to see it on Google Maps that it's an empty lot. And you're saying that this costs taxpayers money as well here in Fulton County. I think that's the most ridiculous part about it. And the other most ridiculous thing, obviously, is when you bring that up to them, I'm the bad guy. And you're the bad guy.
All right, I got a question for you.
Unreal.
Sure.
I want you to explain to everybody why this is such a concern, okay? Because in an honest society, if somebody's registered to vote out of that empty lot, we shouldn't have to worry about anything. It's just excess. It's like trimming fat, and we shouldn't have to worry about that. Why is this a problem?
So the biggest reason it's a problem is some of these folks that I have found is maybe they used to live there. Maybe 10 years ago that was a house. Let's say they moved to Florida. I'll give you an exact example of somebody that did just that. They lived in Fulton County. They moved to Florida, registered to vote in Florida, and started voting in Florida. Fulton County would not take them off. We tried to get Fulton County to do it. And then in the 2024 November election, this person voted in both Florida and Georgia. So when you leave registrations on, just lingering for years to come, either they can vote twice or somebody could get an absentee ballot for them and they would never know.
Okay.
So it could be somebody voting for them.
And that's what I want to ask you. Are you finding that you've got individuals that are actually breaking the law and voting twice in separate jurisdictions, or are you finding that nefarious individuals are using that voter registration, whether it's of a dead person or somebody that's moved that no longer exists in that residence? Are they using those for just make-believe votes that they're casting?
Yeah.
Which are you finding that is more common?
Well, to be honest, it's hard for me to tell if it's the person or the system or somebody doing it for them, because it's very difficult to get Fulton County or the Secretary of State's office to ever investigate these issues. I mean, the guy that moved to Florida, I was able to get his absentee ballot application. The state of Florida is very good with open record requests. So I was able to find that. He filed a permanent change of address. So you can get that from the USPS folks. So he filed a permanent change of address to Florida. I found his address in Florida, his new registration ID in Florida. Everything was there. And I've turned that into the State Board of Elections, 6 months ago, and it still has not been investigated. Mm-hmm. And one thing I want to make sure I get out is the DOJ is now getting in on this fun. And at the last State Board of Elections, the DOJ gave the state 10 people that were registered in multiple states and had been given credit. I'll say given credit because, again, it could be somebody doing this for them, or those individuals voted in both states. So that's why this is important to have clean voter rolls. So either the
that were questionable. So we'll be back with more.
We are going to leer some more.
We'll leer more right after this.
He's got the red, white, blue, blind high on the farm. Semper Fi tattooed on his left arm. Spent a little more in the store for a tag in the back that says USA. He won't buy nothing that he can't fix.
Hey everybody, Don Newen with Cowboy Logic here. Talk about our newest sponsor, Nemo Arms. NemoArms.com. Trot over to that website and check it out. You're going to be blown away at the quality and craftsmanship behind these fine weapons. It's the only weapons company Cowboy Logic endorses. Nemo Arms at NemoArms.com. You want a 223-556 AR platform? NemoArms.com. You want to bump it up a little bit? Go to a 3.
Introducing the Light Tuck from Better Holsters. The last holster you'll ever need for your carry gun. Handcrafted for your precise gun model, this IWB Kydex holster is always a perfect fit. So you can rest
300 blackout, NemoArms.com. You want to get one of them big boys? How about a 300 Win Mag that won't take your shoulder off because they have fine-tuned the recoil problem? NemoArms.com. We got lightweight models. We got the big stout 458s. These are huge. Hey, Nemo Arms, NemoArms.com. They've also got a beautiful selection of shotguns over and under. Nemo Arms, NemoArms.com. Go check them out.
Adobe Acrobat AI Assistant helps me compare two different versions of the same document for key changes. It makes me feel very confident that nothing's missing and everything's accurate. With AI Assistant, we're able to focus on finding new ways to reach soccer fans.
Adobe Acrobat AI Assistant helps me build trust with clients. With AI Assistant, I can find contract details quickly. Having all of this together helps position myself. Adobe Acrobat AI Assistant helps me build trust with clients. With AI Assistant, I can find contract details quickly. Having all of this together helps position myself as an expert.
Adobe Acrobat AI Assistant helps me compare two different versions of the same document for key changes. It makes me feel very confident that nothing's missing and everything's accurate. With AI Assistant, we're able to focus on finding new ways to reach soccer fans.
MAGA PI. You got to love it. I wish we had a MAGA DOJ, though. I'm sorry. That's right. I said it. I wish we had a MAGA DOJ.
We watch a lot of these Magnum PI shows on reruns. Yeah. I think they're coming off of Get TV or
it's like
one of those.
No, mature TV.
Yeah. Hey, we are leering many things, yes, Donna. We are. Let's bring back our guests so we can leer some more.
Jason Frazier is leering us beautifully today, along with his buddy, David Cate, who, again, Dave's not here. All right.
Sorry, Ron, didn't mean to bang on the counter.
It's not just Fulton County, though. Like I say, Sally Grubbs found it in Cobb County. And back in 2020, she saw shredding machines right there when they're supposed to keep those ballots for 22 months. And it's so obvious what's going on. You got 159 counties. You know, who the hell knows how many investigations are going on elsewhere. But in general, and again, folks, find him at Jason Frazier USA on X. Follow all the stuff he's doing. They have been fighting tooth and nail to keep him off the Fulton County election board for obvious reasons on their side. Talk about Mark Elias, though. I mean, this guy is just the most evil when it comes to voter intimidation, quite honestly, against Republicans.
Absolutely. I mean, when I first started turning these into Fulton County, there's a guy that's address is on an overpass. Fulton County used to accept those challenges because it was cut and dry. You know, nobody lives on the overpass. Nobody lives in the vacant lot. Nobody lives in the UPS box. I mean, I don't care how you identify. You don't identify as 3 inches tall living in a US box or UPS box. So they would actually accept those challenges. But then all of a sudden, there was a letter sent out to all 159 counties from Mark Elias, essentially letting them know there's going to be a lawsuit if you keep this up. And all of a sudden it went quiet. So they started denying the challenges and playing more games. So that gave the counties the backbone to stand up against us, I guess you would say.
I'm sure it's not just here in Georgia. I'm sure it's all over the country. It's so obvious. All right, we saw the UPS store. We saw the empty lot. But now we have people registered under bridge abutments.
Mr. Lee is registered to vote right here. It's a highway bridge, essentially. So is he registered to live under the bridge?
I don't know. If you look it up in Google Maps, just type in the address, he puts the pin drop literally in the middle of that bridge.
Interesting.
I've driven through there before, and I didn't see Mr. Lee.
Now, maybe this is just a stupid question, but is this legal in Georgia to be registered to vote under a bridge and then be able to actually vote?
I'm not sure how he would get his precinct card. It seems...
You're telling me there's no mailbox here for them to drop off any information?
I haven't seen the mailbox.
No, we're laughing around, but actually this is a serious problem. This is a person that is literally right now on the voter registration list, potentially is able to vote, and this is the place where they're registered from. The usual question, you complained to the county about this, yes. And what was their response?
I'm the bad guy.
You're the bad guy. And why are you the bad guy for pointing out something so ridiculous as that somebody potentially voting from a place like this?
You know, as far as I can tell, it just comes back to money. I mean, if you do not want to clean the voter rolls, if you do not want them right, there's only one logical conclusion.
I saw that Mr. Lee had put his trash out. Did you guys see that?
No,
his trash cans were out there. You had a couple of the leave bags full of trash.
Oh, I guess that's
might have been. Listen, it's trash day still in Fulton County on Wednesdays. What day is trash day out there?
There's a lot of trash that needs taken out in Fulton County.
We're learning that Fulton County's got a lot of problems. I want to ask you you're going to have to speculate, I think, on this answer. But okay. We've got Republicans that are controlling a lot of the higher offices in the state of Georgia. Not necessarily in Fulton County, but
sure.
Why do you think, I'm laughing because I know the answer to this question. Why do you think people like Brad Raffensperger and Brian Kemp and who's our AG? Is it still Chris Carr?
It sure is.
Okay. Why aren't they doing anything about this?
Well, when they have told the world we have the cleanest voter rolls in the country, 2020 was the cleanest election the world has ever seen. You can't really say it that many times and admit fault at this point. And let's admit, Brad Raffensperger wants to be the next governor. His right-hand man, Gabe Sterling, he's running for Secretary of State. They can't come clean now, even if they wanted to. They would be thrown out of town. But also, why change a system that worked for them?
Exactly.
So let's be honest there.
Yep. And it's, again, in all of these major swing states, really more like swing cities, that's the case, whether you're Democrat or
Swing
Republican.
counties.
Well, if you look at what happened in Colorado, you've got Tina Peters in prison for something the Secretary of State did 10 times worse, leaving voter rolls, and passcodes out on the internet for weeks. And she's running for governor, I believe, Jenna Griswold. It's so obvious in so many different places. But one thing that we've learned through the years, and again, Jovan Hutton Pulitzer has been really on the cutting edge of this, compliance is voluntary in many cases, whereas it shouldn't be. And the optics are there, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't hold up in court. What I think was so unbelievable is the fact that the quote-unquote phone call that Donald Trump supposedly had with Raffensperger, where he said find 11,000 votes, which he didn't say. He basically said there's got to be 11,000 votes out there. If you've got 315,000 that are bogus to begin with, but that was illegally recorded too, over state lines. It was recorded from Florida. Why haven't people gone to jail over this?
Yeah, they should have. And I know what that phone call actually was about. It was about a lot of folks that had already moved. They had said they had filed a permanent change of address to another city, another county. They went back to the old county and voted. I know the guy that ran the analysis, and it showed there were tens of thousands of people that cast illegal ballots. Those ones should have been investigated. Mm-hmm. And it used to say on the Secretary of State's website that if you move so many days before an election, you cannot go back to the old jurisdiction and vote. You have to update your address. If you didn't do that, that's an illegal vote. I'm sorry. If you move to Florida and you forget to register there, you can't come back to Georgia and vote. Mm-hmm. That's what that phone call was all about. And I hope one of these days that gets exposed.
Okay, we have 2 minutes here.
Atención comunidad de Memphis, ¿ya visitaste la Clínica Familiar Hispana? Si aún no lo has hecho, ¿qué esperas? Te ofrecemos atención médica de calidad en tu idioma y por tan solo $20 la consulta. En Clínica Familiar Hispana, nuestras puertas...
What's ahead for you? What's your next step here?
Well, at this point, I'm hoping to expose as much as I possibly can. We're in the legislative session right now in Georgia. It's a short, I think it's like 40 days in total. I'm trying to run ground cover for these legislators. One, to get bills passed to clean up the elections, and two, to expose these problems. Some legislators want to fix the problems. Other ones, maybe they don't. And this will help incentivize them to do the right thing. A lot of people are running for office. Also, the
why
DOJ
did they not
is trying
want?
to get...
Hold on. Why did these people not want to clean up the voting roll? Why?
I think we know why.
What's the reason that they give you when they go, no, we don't want to do that?
Well, let's be honest. Fulton County's budget is $33 million to run elections this year. Every BMD, so the ballot marking device, every Dominion machine, we purchase those based on number of registrations on the rolls, not warm bodies, not humans. The spending in these counties, the machines grow with registrations. So if you're getting money from equipment, if you're getting money, your bonuses, because there's more people registered to vote, why would you want to take them off?
Follow the money trail.
Okay, thank you for saying that.
Yeah, that's it. If we don't, basically, we need to invoke this Critical Infrastructure Act, which Donald Trump doesn't have to do anything about. It's already on the books. Make the entire country re-register. This way, if they try to put more back on the voter rolls.
Beat the Dems with their own legislation.
They put more back on the voter rolls, then they'll just expose themselves. That's the only way around this, because we're screwed otherwise.
Thank you for leering us so much.
At Jason Frazier USA, follow him, folks. That's just one county, and as part of the entire country where all this corruption's going on. We'll be back with more right after this.
Cowboying is in our blood. Cowboying is in our bruises, in our calloused hands tested by barbed wire and rope. It's in our rain-soaked jackets, our mud-stained boots to the crown of our resist-all hat. We don't forget that because we live it every day. We make our resist-all hats the same way we've done since 1927. You live out west for even the shortest time, and there's one thing you learn. You can't pretend out here. Resist all. We live it every day.
You stole first steps, first games, first I love you. Turn family photos into evidence for the crew. Every bedtime story now ends with the cage. Your scalpel cut deep, we bleed rage. If you hear the children crying daddy's name, can you hear the children crying mommy's name? Can you hear the children crying our names? Can you hear the children? Can you hear the children? Still there, though the world turned its back. 1,500 ghosts in the aftermath. They can lock the doors, they can silence the song, but the fire in our hearts.
All right, everybody, welcome back to Cowboy Logic, and as we have done for the better part of 5 years now, we're going J6 on you again. We do it every week, almost every week. Still there that you heard is that bumper. Once again, we're asking that you go and download that. You're welcome to stream it, but do us a favor and download it. That's how we'll be able to rack up a little bit of money that we can send over to Stand in the Gap. And I'll say it again, every penny that is earned off of that song, Still There, search for my last name, you can find it, will go to Stand in the Gap. We've never made any money off of anything J6 related or a J6er. We will leave that to all the grifters that do that. We have got two gentlemen that are going to join us now, David and Adam. These you guys recognize David. We have featured some of his film work that he has done. He's an absolute phenomenal filmmaker. And Adam, that has got a book that you guys are going to be able to see. You can go to Amazon and pick up this book, and we urge you to do this because you guys know that we've covered more J6 than any other national level television show, probably all of them combined. And we are definitely the show that understands how to talk to J6ers and ask them the kind of questions that they need to ask instead of some of this stuff that we've been seeing of late now that everybody's swam out to the J6 island.
Well, it's easy to do now at this point.
Adam, I want to open this up with you, sir. First of all, on behalf of Donna and I and every one of our beloved viewers, we want to thank you for taking an oath. You're a Navy veteran. You took an oath that never expired so that the rest of us could live in liberty and understand freedom and raise our children that way. And we're indebted to you, sir, for doing that and for taking that oath. Thank you. Your story is quite unique, though.
Yep.
You did not have what many would be considered the privilege of being able to be housed with patriots, starting off in pretrial detention in the D.C. Gulag and Northern Neck Blank Hole and Alexandria, some of these hellholes, and then moved into the Bureau of Prisons and treated like a domestic terrorist with the enhancements that they placed on almost everyone, because you were literally on the run while everybody else was not.
Now that takes talent. I'm sorry. That really does take talent.
You were on the run while the rest of them had the runs eating the prison food. Tell me this, or tell us this. Share your story because it's truly unique and it's something that our viewers have not had the opportunity to really hear what you had to go through to to basically be a fugitive for those years?
Well, thank you so much, Don and Donna, for having me on. The first thing I have to say is that January 6th was multiple behaviors collapsed into one label, and that's why there's so many arguments and it's so complicated and people muddy the waters so much. You mentioned something earlier about the privilege to be in the prison system with fellow patriots. I do kind of consider that an honor, one that I wasn't able to go through. I had my own reasons. My brother and I used to talk. My older brother was the one who actually called the FBI on the day of January 6th and helped them to try to track me down. And my younger brother was the one who warned me that he had called them. And we had always talked that because we had watched the election be stolen, because we had watched the COVID tyranny and the lockdowns, because we felt like we were losing our country, after the event happened, we felt it was so important to try to survive, to try to make it through to the other side, to say that if tyranny befalls you, if your country is going the opposite way, you don't need to be violent, you don't need to hurt people, but you do need to take a stand. And if something is wrong, if something deep in your heart is morally wrong, that you need to do something about it and you need to put your heart and your body behind it.
Yeah. I can't imagine, and yours isn't the only story that had a relative, brother, sister, or son, or whatever, turn you in or attempt to turn you in. The whole, and your story right there, again.
Atención comunidad de Memphis, ¿ya visitaste la Clínica Familiar Hispana? Si aún no lo has hecho, ¿qué esperas? Te ofrecemos atención médica de calidad en tu idioma y por tan solo $20 la consulta. En Clínica Familiar Hispana, nuestras puertas están abiertas para ti y tu familia.
Your book, Capital Punishment, a J6 fugitive story. I mean, I hardly call you a fugitive. To me, the government has been the fugitive in this case, in all these cases, against we the people. And I can't imagine what you're going through this whole time. I'm assuming that your Navy training kind of helped you avoid.
Definitely, if you needed to swim any place.
How many? I mean, we laugh about it now, but
besides.
Yeah, go ahead.
Besides the few gulches I had to swim through, like Don says, maybe the Navy training didn't help me so much. No, when I was in Los Angeles, I used to hang out at this place called 23B Hackspace. And there was some guys there that did digital forensics, and they were just kind enough to kind of show me the ropes. And they explained to me, beyond what a normal person would care about, how phones work, how the towers work, how people are tracked. They just did it for academic purposes. But for me, it was deadly serious. I was watching people. I kept on with the case. I realized this was something different than America had ever seen before. I was hearing reports of elderly people who were just praying silently, who were hunted down like animals by this Justice Department gone out of control.
Yeah.
Well, and
exactly it.
You've heard those stories. You know those stories because you and Dave are close, are real stories. And ladies and gentlemen, you've heard those stories from their mouths on this show. I'd be very curious, and Dave, for those of you that are wondering why Dave hadn't said anything, it's because we haven't let him say anything yet. He's there for all you ladies to look at. Yeah. Having said all this, Adam, I'd be very curious if you said was it your younger brother that turned you in or your older brother?
No, it was my older brother. And,
did he get any money?
I don't know. I've been trying to speak to him for years, but it's tough. Like a lot of families out there, my family was torn in half by this left-right divide. People watch too much CNN. They believe the things that Anderson Cooper are telling them, and they start making radical decisions because they're so hyped up by the fear, by the anxiety that's drilled into them by that mainstream media.
Yeah, which is exactly what they want. That's the Marxist communist playbook. Chaos.
Dave, you're well aware of family members that receive significant money for turning in their parents, their siblings. Yeah. You want to talk about that in the last minute? And then when we get back, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to dive into Dave talking a little bit about sedition hunters. But Dave, what about the payoffs for some of these people?
Well, they come in different ways, as we saw with some of the perjurous police officers from that day. It's social media as well. They use the public to donate to their Give, Send, Goes, their campaigns, their GoFundMes, I guess they are. And, it's no different. Some of them are payments, some of them are public. So it makes it go away a lot easier in small increments. And we see how that works throughout the system. But I just want people to understand this is founding father stuff. When you know the government is tyrannical and they're coming after you, what do you do? I mean, not that anyone was wrong for laying down, because they weren't, but I think it's really heroic what Adam did. And I think the story behind that, people need to read that book. There's no question about it.
Absolutely. And you can get it on Amazon, everybody. Just go in and search for it. When we come back for the next segment, make sure you write it down.
Yep.
And then you can go to Amazon and pick it up. When we get back, we're also going to ask Dave, how many times have you been questioned and investigated by the FBI? How many visits did they get? Yeah. It's do they have a room set up at your house? Cowboy Logic covering J6 as always. We'll be back.
Hello, everybody. Kelly Meggs. I'm sure you know me at this point if you watch Don and Don at all. But tonight I let the dogs out for the last time and was kind of doing my nightly ritual. I sit outside a lot because I don't like being inside because of the jail cell thing. But I reflected a lot on this past week and with Charlie Kirk being assassinated and everything that happened with him. Our prayers all go out to him, but we also have a sense of what can we do? What can we do as Americans and as citizens to stand up against this? And what we can do is we can support companies that support us and support what we believe in our country. And Sugar Creek Goods is one of those companies. I just took a shower, like before bed. That's what I do every night. And I thought about this while I was in the shower. I'm like, this is a fantastic product. Not only is it an amazing product, but it's a company that supports our beliefs and in America. So if you want to do something, use your promo code 1776 and make a difference. Buy from an American company that supports Americans and supports what we believe in. Not what the media and everybody else tells you to believe in, but the truth. Use your promo code 1776. And God bless you. And God bless America.
You want to pay J6ers? You're damn right I want to pay J6ers. If you got wronged by the government, then you should be made right. That's America.
Pay them now. Now. Man, we've been doing this for...
Now does not mean later.
The last year we've been talking about this. Okay,
Yep.
But ways you can help, folks, and our RAV viewers are awesome. Let's bring back Adam and Dave. Now, Adam's book that you see right there is called Capital Punishment, a J6 fugitive story, and he was on the run this whole time. He's one of the few that was able to do that. And Dave has been working, of course, with all of the... well, I should say the awesome books that we have, the Gulag Chronicles, which we keep here on the set. We've got the first two.
These are two separate books, by the way.
And, I mean, the artwork from these guys in prison was just amazing. Yep. Yep, there's one.
Is that the latest one, Dave?
This is the third book in the set.
When are we special enough to get that book?
Yeah, and look at this.
I think it's in the mail coming to you. Yeah, this one is the Road Home.
The Road Home.
It's really an amazing collection once again. of these stories from history that we have to keep, we have to hold, or they're going to be, like our friend says, Kelly, the landmines that our children step on if we don't take care of these things now. Really important, letters from prison.us. And we try to tell people, buy a set for your library or your church or your private school or your friends or whoever. It's worth it. Coffee table or whatnot. This education is necessary.
But was on the front of the book that you showed. It's funny because I picked that exact picture out from the second book to highlight it. So that's pretty cool. I mean, the artwork is amazing. So again,
that is.
Yep. So again, that is lettersfromprison.us. You can get all three there. Lettersfromprison.us. And Adam's book is
These
available.
make great Valentine's gifts, everybody. Since that's the holiday that's coming up, we urge you to,
I love it.
Get your loved ones.
Hey, if you love your country, you'll help, because these books still support J6ers and the ongoing effort to maintain the archives for January 6th to still get testimonies and statements. Notice the media besides y'all aren't interviewing J6ers and talking about their experiences. I think that's telling.
All right, let's Adam, hold on. Let me just finish. Adam has a Give, Send, Go also. You'll see it. It's HHF. So please help him.
Definitely the easiest Give, Send, Go we've ever given out.
Some of these Give, Send, Goes are pretty tough to remember. But HHF is nice and easy, Adam. So that's good. But again,
at Watkins, we build more than just roofs. We build protection.
Capital punishment, a J6 fugitive story. Get it in all the usual places. Because Adam, you were a glass artist, and now you are basically trying to help J6ers speak out. And this is it's important, because I think with what's going on, and Dave, I wanted your reaction here. It's almost epic what is happening with these hearings now that are going on. That sedition hunters. It's coming out now. Paid $150,000.
Let's go there. Talk about sedition hunters, because for 5 years, these people have been tracking Patriot Americans. So talk a little bit about what's coming out with.
Absolutely. Sedition Hunters Solomon Report the other day talked about their funding, one aspect of their funding, and we'll venture to say it's through universities and other programs that are paying these internet sleuths from other countries even. So you're seeing this foreign involvement as well, which we know takes this whole crime way up over the line. So the money trails, always follow the money. We're seeing that these sedition hunters that hunted J6ers like Adam, and I'm sure that they were really disappointed that he never found him, but there's what he experienced as the MAGA underground, like the Underground Railroad. And these older people would, moving from house to house. It's amazing to see that there are still people that believe in fighting for justice and standing for truth. And I think those books we were talking about, guys, his book, especially with his own story, but the Letters from Prison books are each of their stories and their pleas for help and their patriotism and their love for God and country. They're inspirational. They're not all sad, and I want people to understand the artwork in these things is worth the purchase to see what these people were putting out in expressions during that time. And I don't know of any other strength of character of a group that could go through something like that and still maintain, with the help and inspiration and the hope that y'all help provide through the show, the calling in from the prisons. We all tried to interview people. And, I've had 6 interviews from the FBI myself here at my house. And I think it's very telling, because 3 months ago, I'm still talking about Cindy Young's case, where the judge let a juror on her case that's a Clinton attorney that went after Trump, ended up being the foreman of the jury. And now she found out she wants to do something about that. So I made a post that, a judge and a juror could still go to prison. And the FBI and Homeland Security showed up at my house about 3 months ago. So this is still ongoing. And I think that's the part that nobody understands. And if it flips back, they want J6ers back in prison. They don't want it stopped. They want a lot more people than that. But this is far from over. I love the exposure from the courts, from the hearings that Adam's been at, watching Officer Fanone have a meltdown from Ivan Raiklan, just poking him just a little bit and saying, I'm not your mortal enemy, whatever. But Adam's there to witness all those things as well. He's gotten great information. And let me tell you about him just real fast, couple seconds. When he got out, he instantly got in contact with us. He's been working on this AI stuff. We collected as many transcripts as we could. He's been running systems. He and his brother built a new app. I want him to talk about it if he has a second. but he is one of those few J6ers like Cindy Young that are still fighting the battle every single day. He does a vigil in D.C. in front of the White House, as well as a talk show, a podcast every week in front of the White House. So follow this guy on social media and keep up with what he's doing and where he's going. This is not over by far.
Adam, tell us all about this, man. Tell us everything as much as you can. You got about 2.5 minutes.
I just want to say thank you to Dave real quick and Tim Rivers. Their tireless work of putting out those books, those Gulag Chronicle books, has just been fantastic. And Dave's movie has been fantastic. Basically, if it wasn't for people like your viewing audience for your show, those are the type of people that gathered up the courage to try and hide me and then eventually my wife and move us around place to place. And we used to tell people, you're going to get yourself in serious trouble if you do this. You could be looking at serious prison time. And people would say, because of their faith in this country, because of their faith in the Lord, that they just didn't care, that they were willing to put up with the risk anyway. And that's why I've tried to the chagrin of my wife sometimes, moved us to DC and tried to take up with activism work. We've been heavily involved in trying to get AI to the people. Like Dave was saying, that app, it's pinned to the top of my social media page, so anybody can use it. It's free to use. And it analyzes all of your documents, any kind of document, your photos, your discovery, your transcripts, and it will analyze them for judicial and prosecutorial malfeasance, evidence of lawfare. It's not perfect. It's not legal advice. I am not a lawyer, so don't think that that's the case. But it is a great research tool that you can use to do your due diligence and help guide you, to help you know what to say and what questions to ask when you do get that legal counsel and go get that real legal advice. You know, it's so hard because people charge so much money and DC is so far away and the hotels are so expensive. That's what Homeland House has been all about. For the whole time that we've been here, since we got here, since the pardons, has been offering a free place to stay for J6ers who want to come do activism in DC and can't afford that travel, can't afford those hotel bills. We try to just help them along.
Nice. Hence the HHF.
Yep.
So
Homeland House
okay.
Foundation.
What is social media? Where can they find this app? Give us your social media.
Yeah, if you just look up Adam and Beth Villarreal, we'll pop right up. We got the blue check mark and we have our app is pinned to the top. Yeah, you can use it for anything, any criminal case where you suspect lawfare might be used against you. But I made it specifically for free for the J6ers because, guys, I get so many phone calls fielded from people. People are hurting. People are suffering.
And it's still, unfortunately,
still there. It's
a
still
huge
there.
problem.
Yeah. Gentlemen, we hope that you will stay with us as we close the show the same way. I don't even know how many years now it's been since we've closed the show this way. But it's with the most beautiful national anthem ever sung, that by our beloved brothers in the D.C. Gulag. At the time, it was C2B. Gentlemen, remove your hats. Ladies and gentlemen, hands over your hearts. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for trusting us with 2 hours of your valuable time. We'll see you next week. And thank you two gentlemen for being with us.
God bless.
Thank you. God bless.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. Whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watch, words of gallantly stream. And to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.